As we start off this video, I would like to say a lot of XRP holders are going to be regretting their decision to be in XRP, are going to be crying thinking about their time in XRP. Let me actually take you guys through the justification of what I just said, why I truly believe that has higher odds of happening. Welcome to the scientific investor family, where the normal retail guys learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. Let me actually directly jump on to what we started this video with. Why I think a lot of people would regret being in XRP, even though the fundamentals are really pushing towards the adoption, mass adoption of XRP. Whatever we are watching in the market right now shows a huge movement towards XRP ledger. That's the herd environment. That's the institutional herd coming on. But still, the key issue which we'll all face, even with all these adoption going through the institutional standards, is that this kind of thing is too bad. Literally, if you have been in the XRP community for long enough, you actually will understand what's true, what's not. So if you're actually looking for $10,000 per XRP, 50,000, 70,000, whatever numbers are being thrown at you, you need to actually ask the question like, okay, have you done your research? Are you just watching random YouTube videos? Are you following them up, researching about them, making sure that's true? Because if you're not doing that, you won't even see speculation. Some of them would be wild hype, right? That's something I see as a negative issue in the community. And if you hold $100 of XRP and you think the price is going to reach $70,000 per XRP, and that's a set price, and I mean set price. Have you ever read the white paper of XRP? I mean, it's the document where they represent it as stable coin. They define the terminology stable coin inside it, saying relatively stable during the transaction. And then they go deep. Now, we went through all these documents years back when they were released, not now. So if you actually look at the truth, yeah, they do understand the fact that this was designed as an appreciating asset. So with all these adoption, the depreciation is not going to be the key factor there. The main thing would be the burn rate, which is all good, fine, because that makes it an appreciating asset. So you cannot set the price at one level, key point. Two, how high do you really think this is going to go? Let me break this in a different way. If the price action, say for XRP, goes to $5, are you going to take profit? How many of you would take profit when it is at $5? How many of you would take profit at $10, $15, say $20? How many of you would still keep 70% of your XRP untouched at $20? Most of them who I speak to, I think by $15 to $20, they're 70% out. Because they all understand the fact that if the market goes up like that, it's speculation involved in the market will drop. Maybe 40%, maybe 50%, maybe even wilder than that. That means even if you see $20, you will see $10, $8 back. So if you have logical thinking ability, now you will decide, okay, I'm going to take profit before it actually drops. Now you have patterns, you have trend lines, you have all those to help you. Say in the last video and the video before that, we actually put an argument that the market will respect this range because that was a hammer. Then you came up with an inverted hammer. What's happening right now with the daily close? This is what we call anticipating the market based on your experience and well-educated guess. You had last day wicking all the way back down to 0.6 and then coming back up and closing here. So the daily close is still about this wick at the lower end. And now if we zoom in, that's where you get things a little bit more clearer or you get more clarity. You're trying to make a double bottom at that range of support. Think about this. This is that lower point of the wick. You never went below that even on a 4-hour time horizon, which shows you that level which we discussed a couple of days back, that still holds true. But this range as a whole needs to be broken. Usually, whenever you get a wick to the downside, a fake out, you move to test the top and break that. Now, we need to see that the amount of volume which enters the market as soon as we break higher is enough to break this trend line. So keep this in mind. Yeah, the price will go higher. We are not talking about these kind of, BS numbers. We are talking about the reality. We understand that this asset is the standard. We understand the reality that this is about to change the entire CBDC structure. Why? Because when you take your time, learn through what's happening in and around the globe, this is huge. One of the primary things you need to keep in mind here, as we enter the central bank digital currency era, service fees, it's not good. Think about this. When you transact with them, this is the charge per transaction. While individuals will pay 0.3% per total transaction, say you are using a card or CBDC transaction to buy a house, buy a car. 0.3 is a big number in that sense. So if you do think citizens are going to be forced to use that, the adoption of crypto is going to go higher. The adoption of crypto is going to increase massively because they don't want to pay these fees. If you do a cash transaction, you're not being charged any fee, and this structure is involving more and more fee. Now the fee is on the money which you have already been taxed, and you're already paying a sales tax. All those stuff comes into picture. So automatically future looks bright in the crypto market. If you follow the news, the narratives, you understand why these things are happening. Why do you think crypto firms are recording higher profits? There are like two odds for this. One, you're trading a lot. You're trading a lot, meaning you create enough spread for them, and you are in negative, but they're still making profits. Or the best thing to look at right now is assets are starting to pop. That is attracting a lot of new guys coming into the market, mostly jumping onto assets before they run up is going to be the best scenario. But what happens? You don't see them doing that. You see them doing the exact opposite thing, chasing the green candles and ending up in red. And that's why these exchanges are making huge profits. You have a lot more new guys coming into the market, which is great. But if you do see these before they actually break out, now you have an advantage. Before they break out, if you get the call saying, okay, look at this can be an opportunity. Now that was like 4 days back. And right now you see that starting to move up. So if you have well-educated guess, if you have well-educated understanding of different assets in the market, the breakout level, the targets, this kind of gives you the ability to learn further. Why? Future is bright. There is no doubt in that. As much as you want, you can zoom out, you can learn what's happening. So for price of XRP on a shorter term horizon, keep this in mind. We may actually travel all the way up to $1.8. Maybe in next 20 days, maybe in next 40 days. We don't know how long it's going to take, but keep this in mind. We are now testing a support zone, and at that support zone on a daily, the price action is suggesting you that bulls are entering. You don't have enough volume and momentum to the downside from the bears. If you look at these candles, bears were forcing it through. You reach the downside quickly. After which, you had another set of the similar price action, but here, something just changed. Throughout these candles, you tried to go lower, but each time, buyers actually push the price back up. So yes, it's a war. It is a battle right now in this zone. You need to win that and then take off to this level. For sure, you're going to watch price battling multiple resistance as we go up. But keep this in mind. When you focus on the price action, you understand that just 1 day of bull is now taking 25 days of bears. That means bulls are super strong. And if bulls are strong, now what you really want to look at is which direction are we going as a market. Because XRP is not just an asset in a different market, it is involved in the crypto market. The sentiment, the market sentiment plays a lot in these movements. And when you actually see some of these assets breaking higher, showing you opportunities, that means the market sentiment is evolving. One of the easiest things to look for is look at all these assets which are actually doing great. That means it's not just one or two assets. Some of these are 100% more in this year. Now, yeah, some of them are like, the outliers. Keep them out. 70x in the year, yeah, they are purely outliers. As of now, we couldn't get them. But if you actually look through this, you understand that a lot of these assets are starting to trend higher. And that doesn't happen in a bear market. You usually see this happening as the money flow rotates in and around the crypto market before a big run up. And that's exactly what we are looking forward to. As soon as you see breakouts, you need to understand whether that's a micro cap, small cap, medium cap, and do your math and understand what volume is coming into it. That gives you the ability to see whether the breakout is going to work out or not, whether that's an opportunity or not. And once you have those opportunity, yeah, then you know where you are. It actually runs up and you're already in it. So if you're actually looking for things like that, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. Now, jumping back into XRP price action. In a similar aspect, if you look at the price action, say we just dropped that support resistance zone and we are going in deep. We want to actually see on a shorter horizon what exactly is happening. We actually got a couple of candles where the wick was to the downside, which means price tried going down, but each time it went lower, buyers were attracted to buy this way more than what sellers were selling. That's why you're draining that supply. Great. Now, what do we want to see here? Right now, I would put the argument that this range needs to be broken. So the top here is close to 0.635. And if we manage to break that level, the amount of bullishness we will watch is going to be massive. Now, there's a 12-hour chart, which is a little bit lower than a daily, but much higher than a 4-hour. Why are we looking at this? We want to actually see whether the price action kind of gives us the idea that we discussed yesterday and day before yesterday. It is getting reinforced right now with MACD showing you, okay, I'm getting close to an opportunity zone. RSI saying, okay, there is a possible reversal coming in, and that's close to this bottom. Why is that important? Zoom out. Take a look at this. Whenever you traded in this range and you bought in, you go back up and you get opportunity to take profit. Whenever you buy here, it goes up. You get the opportunity to take profit. So if you are trading, that gives you even better understanding. Now, if you're a long-term guy and you're looking at the price action, you're nowhere near the bottom. You're going higher, you're riding higher. There is no doubt in that. If you're a macro guy who have been in this asset for a long period of time and you're looking forward to taking profits at multiple higher levels, not the 10,000 range, the actual range, the $8, $10, $20, that kind of range, then you're looking at the RSI and saying like, okay, this does look healthy. You had this reaccumulation phase where you broke to the upside. Now we are coming back down to retest that. A retest and a bounce is going to be healthy. We have seen this in the market over and over again multiple times. This was a retest. So if you put this as a support resistance zone, you will see a breakout, you will see a retest, you will see a bounce off. That's healthy in the market. Now, hype is great. You want to think about that, push that oxytocin in, great. But before you push that trade button, that invest button, you need to make sure that is based on reality. That's based on facts and actual well-educated guess. Not just the perfection, because no one can get it perfect, but you can give it the maximum impact and effort from your side. Now you understand the fact that, okay, I'm looking for something macro and I understand this is going higher. And if you say, okay, I don't really understand the line chart, great. Go to a Heikin-Ashi chart. It does show you the monthly is turning green month on month. Now zoom back out and ask yourself, when did you actually get the monthly candle going green for this long. That's not a small thing. 6 months staying in green never happens in a bear market. You don't usually see that unless you have that much upside and then you shift, right? At that time, you'll have mixed markets. Say you had this macro downside and there was some issues. 2 candle, 3 candle to the upside and then negative. 2, 3 candles to the upside, then negative. Now it's not that thing. Buyers are strong and they are pushing this asset to the upside. Say if you're using different asset, different indicators, say we go back here. We want to actually take XRP, stay on a weekly. Let's actually put in another chart, which is going to be giving you much better viewpoint. So here on a monthly, you're seeing like, okay, this is a huge fluctuation. Now you really don't have the price movement or the price history before, so it gets a little bit weird. But then you actually start slowly zooming in and looking at the trend lines. Now we want to actually see where we are headed. This is the trend line. This is what we are watching. So the price is actually bouncing off from this range. Next level of support is coming somewhere close to this point, and we are now there. Now take just that zone in your mind. Let's actually make this a little bit more clearer. Great. Now, what do you see as a possible movement coming in the market? Now, I can be wrong on this one, but let's actually try anticipating what's possible here. I personally think that the market is trying to show us a possible head and shoulder. This is inverted head and shoulder here. And this break to the upside will give you a break like this. That's going to be a macro run up. We all would like to see that. We all want to take profit in those regions. But if you're waiting for these kind of big numbers without taking profit, man, we will see a lot of people crying and weeping because they didn't take profit at the right time because they were looking for sky high numbers. Don't do that. Believe in yourself, believe in your instincts. And those instincts should be developed based on real guess. And that guess should be based on the hard facts in the market. Say PayPal just came out with something. Great. But you have different perspective on this. Some guys are actually highlighting the fact that, they can actually wipe your assets, freeze your assets, that kind of thing. But, then David actually comes out and highlights that, no, that's nonsense. Centralization is going to be helping people, because scammers are everywhere. That is why they're using it. That's one perspective. But then you actually remember, these guys does not really have a great thought process for their customers. If they're doing that last time, they will do that this time around for sure. So the amount of trust which you, me, and others have for these kind of institutions would be limited. And that is one of the reasons why crypto is going to get massive adoption, and XRP is going to be playing a key role in that. There is no doubt for me in that arena. Why? This is a payment asset. CBDC is a payment mechanism, and if that's charging you more, why would you stay in that? You will use a system which is much more cheaper, faster, and convenient to use. The adoption is here. The adoption is happening everywhere. Once you get these in an easy structure for each and every one of us to use, the adoption is going to go high. The price action will respect that market value, the actual value being delivered by that asset. If you think that's true, let's smash that like button. Let's see how much likes we can actually get for this video. And guys, if you received value, please do again consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done that already. And if you're looking for updates like this on real time for a lot of these assets, as soon as it's breaking higher or just before it breaks higher, you can have a look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.